Hello, dreamers, and welcome to Dreaming Isle. I'm here to guide you into a calm and magical place tonight. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps bring more dreamers to our little corner of the stars. And if you'd like, share in the comments, what's the world outside your window like right now? Quiet night? Rainy? City lights? Now, find your cozy spot. Let go of the day and let the story begin.
Chapter 1: The Awakening in the Mist. The wind whispered softly. It wrapped itself around Ilya like a silk shawl as she stirred from sleep. Her eyes blinked open slowly, and all she could see was cloud, thick, white, glowing from the soft light of a sun she couldn't quite find. She was lying on a narrow bed inside a skyboat, a curious little vessel with sides like polished wood and a sail that moved without any wind. It creaked gently as it glided forward, suspended in the sky by nothing at all. There were no ropes, no oars, no motor, just stillness and the slow rhythm of drifting. She sat up, confused but calm. She didn't remember getting here. She didn't remember much of anything. But it didn't trouble her. The mist felt safe, like a soft memory she couldn't place. As she stood, she noticed a small book resting near the mast. Its cover was deep blue with silver lettering, "To those who have forgotten something important." She opened it. Inside was only one line: "Your dream awaits, but only if you remember to look for it." Just then, the mist parted, slowly, like curtains drawing open in a gentle theatre, and before her, hovering in the sky, were islands, dozens of them, floating in the air like lily pads on a golden pond. Each one shimmered with its own light. Some sparkled, some glowed dimly like fireflies. Others pulsed with soft colour, as though they were breathing. The skyboat adjusted course on its own, heading toward the nearest island. Ilya felt no fear, only curiosity. She took a breath. It smelled faintly of lavender and something older, like parchment and rain, and sat back down as the skyboat carried her forward. Chapter 2: The Garden of Childhood Echoes. The boat landed with a soft thud on a bed of moss. The first island was lush and overgrown, but not wild. It was filled with enormous flowers that hummed as if singing lullabies, and trees whose trunks twisted into spirals like candy canes. Everything was vibrant and gently glowing. Ilya stepped onto a winding path lined with petals the size of dinner plates. As she walked, she heard the faint sound of laughter, children's laughter, echoing from somewhere just ahead. She turned a corner and found herself in a circular clearing. Tiny lights floated in the air, soft spheres no larger than fireflies, each pulsing in rhythm. When she stepped near one, it flared a little brighter, and suddenly she heard something in her ear. "You're it." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are. You touched me." She gasped, not in fear, but wonder. The lights were memories, echoes, children's voices locked in the air like bubbles of the past. She moved through the clearing, listening. Games of hide and seek. A song hummed in a made-up language. A squeal of delight at the first sight of snow.
She realized some voices were hers, others were not. They didn't belong to one person. This garden held everyone's memories. All the small, forgotten joys, the moments we outgrew without meaning to. At the center of the garden was a large stone carved with a message. We do not lose our dreams. We simply forget where we left them. She sat there for a time, not speaking, just listening. Just remembering how it felt to laugh for no reason at all. When the skyboat's bell rang, soft and low, she rose and followed the path back. Chapter 3: The Clockwork Library. The next island appeared just as the last light of day turned to dusk. Though in the skyworld, time seemed more like a suggestion than a rule. The skyboat docked beside a grand stone stairway, leading into what looked like a castle. But it wasn't a castle. It was a library, vast and towering, with bronze gears turning slowly above the entrance. The building ticked faintly, like an enormous clock that was tired but still trying. Ilya stepped inside, and a hush wrapped around her like a cloak. The air smelled of old paper, wax, and forgotten stories. The shelves reached into the mist overhead, and ladders drifted through the air, moving silently from one aisle to another on their own. There were no people, but the library was alive. As Ilya walked past a table, a book flipped open. Then another. She leaned down to read one. She once wanted to be an explorer, but everyone laughed. So she stopped telling people. The dream stayed in her chest, whispering until it fell asleep. The book closed itself. Another opened. He dreamed of building flying machines. He sketched them every day until the war came and he was told to grow up. The dream still floats in the attic. All the books were like this. Not stories, not fiction, dreams. Ones people had once held close and slowly, over years, had let go. And the library had kept them. At the far end of the hall stood a grandfather clock. Its pendulum was still, its hands unmoving, and yet the air buzzed around it, as if time itself was waiting. Ilya stood before it. Her reflection shimmered in the glass, but behind her, in the mirrored surface, she saw her younger self, laughing, drawing, eyes wide. She remembered something then, a dream she had once, of becoming a cartographer of imaginary worlds, of drawing lands that didn't exist, but could. She had filled notebooks with them. And then, one day, she'd stopped. Life had gotten busy. Her younger self in the reflection smiled. She turned to leave, but not before whispering, "Thank you," to the clock. It didn't move, but she thought maybe the air shifted just slightly. Chapter 4: The Sky Mirror Lake. The next island was silent. No wind, no trees, just a great, still lake, surrounded by soft grass and thin reeds that shivered like glass. Ilya stepped onto a path of stone leading to a bench by the water's edge. The lake was unlike any she'd seen. It didn't reflect the sky. It reflected thoughts, dreams, shapes. As she stared into the water, the surface shimmered, and there she saw scenes unfold like moving paintings. A girl riding a giant fish beneath starlit waves. A man walking upside down on a glass ceiling. A house that unfolded into a staircase, reaching the moon. Each time she tried to speak a dream aloud, it vanished. The surface rippled, and it was gone. A plaque beside the bench read, "Dreams cannot be claimed, only remembered." Ilya sat in silence, watching, letting the dreams appear and disappear. No need to hold them, no need to name them, just notice, accept. And when she rose, she felt lighter. The skyboat waited. Chapter 5. The Last Hill. The final island was small. Unlike the others, it did not shimmer or sing. It was quiet, utterly quiet. Not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that feels whole, complete. A soft breeze carried Ilya up a winding path that circled the island gently. The grass was silver blue. The sky above was turning a deep indigo, speckled with stars. At the very top of the island stood a single tree. It was not tall, but its branches spread wide, like arms stretched open. Its leaves glowed faintly, each one a different hue. Soft greens, golds, pinks like rose quartz, blues like ocean glass. And from those branches hung small silvery orbs, dream fruits, each one pulsing gently with light. She approached slowly. And there, near the lowest branch, was one with her name etched into it. Ilya. She reached out and held it in her hands. It was warm. Inside, like a snow globe, she saw a tiny version of herself sketching maps, tracing imaginary rivers with a glowing pen. She smiled. The dream was still alive, sleeping maybe, but alive. There was no instruction, no guardian, no pressure, just the choice. She could leave the dream on the tree, let it rest, or she could take it with her. She closed her fingers around it gently. "I remember now," she whispered. Chapter 6. The Return. The skyboat did not creak this time. It welcomed her like an old friend. As she stepped aboard, the sail caught a wind that came from nowhere, and yet everywhere. The stars stretched long in the sky, like strings of music, and the islands slowly faded into the mist behind her. Ilya sat at the front of the boat, cradling the glowing orb in her lap. It hummed softly, not in words, but in feeling. As the boat drifted, she thought of everything she had seen and everything she had forgotten to remember. She didn't know if this place had been real, or a dream, or something in between. It didn't matter. At the edge of the sky, a sunrise was blooming. Gentle gold poured over her skin like tea. The voice from the first book echoed faintly in her mind. "Your dream awaits, but only if you remember to look for it." And now she had. So, if you ever find yourself drifting, unsure of where you are or what you've left behind. Close your eyes. Listen for laughter. Look for still water. Watch for islands in the clouds, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find your dream again too. Sleep well, traveler. The sky remembers you.